Hi everyone, and it's that time again for another tank review, and today I'm not reviewing the T90A, but I am reviewing a tank that is very similar to it, and this is the T72B3. In my opinion, this is the absolute best premium tank in the game. You can buy buck for buck, whatever your skill level. It has no real disadvantages, it's a very forgiving tank, great for new players on how to learn the MBT meta at tier 8 and above. It has no real disadvantages, like I said, unlike, say, the Leopard 2A4 Revolution with its huge lower plate and the side armor, the Type 96B with the extremely weak armor and the relatively low reload, and the hit points kind of kills it as well. The Challenger 1 Falcon with the weak gun and the weak armor. The unmanned turret is nice though, and the M1A1 aim is medical at best. So what makes the T72B3, in my opinion, the best value? So first of all, there is a bunch of them you can get. This is the default model. You can repaint it and everything, while the others, such as this, there is also a red version and a black version. This is the green version, I believe. So there's a whole host of them you can get if you participate in games such as this. It has a base premium XP of 20%, which helps go towards commanders and everything. Such as you can see here, I'm grinding out Rachel. And it also gives you a 50% bonus. That means with just the event bonus going on right now on the premium account, you could be earning 200%, which is pretty nifty. But anyway, let's have a look at the stats related to everything first. So this is the base model, so let's compare it to the T90A, the most popular MBTs of the tier, the Merkava, the M1A2, and the Leopard. So as you can see here is that the T72B3 has basically the same damage stats as the T90A. It has higher damage than all of the other MBTs. It has better penetration than the B3 and the M1A2, but worse than the Leopard. It also has a very high DPM, far better than the M1A2 and the 2A5. However, these two have better accuracy stats overall, and they also have a hell of a lot more hit points, which does go a long way. It has weak, and I'm going to air quote there, upper plate armor compared to the rest, but its turret armor is relatively pretty decent. There isn't really much in the game that will go for your turret. It has the lowest top speed out of all of them, but also has the highest 0 to 32. And if we wanted to, the lowest weight out of all of them, very good very good hull traverse, camouflage, whatever. The gun depression is a bit lacking, however it has -1 more than the T90A over the back, but we don't really particularly care about that. And lastly, it has a pretty good aim deviation, aim time, and turret traverse. If we compare it to the other tier 8 premiums, which is the 96B, the Vickers, the M1A1, the Revolution, and the Falcon, we can see where the advantages of the B3 begin to lie in its relatively high damage, second only to the Type 96B, relatively high penetration. It has the highest DPM out of all of them with a very fast reload time. That reload time is what you want. However, it has the second lowest amount of hit points, and again, the hull armor does let it down a bit, as well as the fact it is the second slowest of its tier, but it does have, again, a very good 0 to 32. Again, it's also a very light tank as well. Good turret, good hull traverse speed, camouflage, and the gun stats are as it says on the cake. This is with Rachel, who is not actually that much of a gun stat MBT commander, so it's relatively good. Overall speaking, I would say for a meta loadout, some heat rounds, Your missiles have 700 pen, which are actually pretty good. They will go through most tier 7s, and they may be able to go through tier 8 weak spots as well. However, these missiles are mostly used for indirect fire, so such as when you're on a slope, reverse slope, you can fire over that slope and hit targets. This could be used against tier 9 and 10 soft targets as well, and for the rears and turret tops of enemy vehicles as well. So the missiles, if you know how to use them, do help with the gun depression problem. The heat shells themselves are relatively punchy, up to 825 damage with 680 pen. Can't really go wrong there. And the AP rounds, as we can see here, 590 to 720. Overall, the best part about the gun is the reload time. 6.8 seconds means that the only real enemies, the only real players in the game, the reason why I like it is because your rate of fire means that you are able to perma-track enemies, and light tanks and AFVs at the such generally avoid going near you simply because your reload time is relatively quick, which means you can bam out those heat shells relatively easy. The mobility, as we can see here, is pretty good. It's a pretty light and agile and fast vehicle at the same time as well. However, the max speed does let it down quite a bit. Utility wise, it's an MBT, camouflage doesn't really matter. And targeting, well, you saw the comparison versus the other units as well. So most of the time I would load a good stock of AP, nice amount of heat, and at least 10 or so missiles. Cruise skills wise, for the driver, I would say off-road terrain, off-road driving and field repair, so swap out the smooth ride. For the gunner, preventative maintenance and sharpshooter, or maybe do the twist or quick draw. This is usually, accuracy is mostly used for autocannons at this rate, generally speaking. Surplus part crates, first aid cabinet and improved fire extinguisher. There will be a resurgence of ramkas and stuff at this tier and high tier, and heat will be thrown out a lot as well at you. As you can see here, the only heat protection you have on your side is this part here. So let's have a look at the armor system. So versus the T-72B3's own rounds, you can see that the lower plate isn't that particularly well armoured. However, this part here is 725 is quite decent, and you also have this line here. So it's only really about, I'm going to say 70% of your lower plate that's that weak. And of course, if you're moving and stuff, well, that comes out. However, as said before, and you may have noticed, the hull armor says it's weak. Okay, why is it weak? You've got 800mm of armor here, and you also have some ERA plates as well. Well, the moment you start to get above these things start to get a little iffy, which means that at this angle maybe, Leopard 2s will start to go through your plate, your upper front plate. Let's see about missiles. Missiles will not, however, as composite rounds, but even to your own AP rounds. Yeah. Not to mention that when you're up close with these things, the turret ring is quite pronounced. As you can see, basically turret ring all around, and not to mention we have these two strips here. However, they are quite difficult to hit. And over here, I believe, is basically reduced damage. The side armor versus its own heat rounds, as you can see here, is quite weak. However, I would not recommend shooting at the back of the turret. It isn't really that big of a target at long ranges, and you're better off shooting at the hull. However, please try to aim above or below the tracks. And the ammo rack is there, which is quite relatively small, and it's actually relatively difficult to hit, being all the way at the bottom of the lower plate. And, well, the side armor, well, the rear armor as well, the rear armor. Generally speaking, the playstyle of the T-72B3 is very fast, very mobile. It's utilizing that reload time to quickly knock out your opponents because you have a very low amount of hit points relative to everyone else. If you want to take one of these out in Armored Warfare, it's actually relatively easy if you know what you're doing. Say for instance, we're going to use a BMD-2M. As you can see here, you can penetrate them pretty well, and the side armor is quite nice as well. However, these things are relatively agile, so using missiles at these when they're moving can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. But most of the time when you'll be facing these things, it will be with other MBTs, or other vehicles in the game as well. So versus the Stingray's rounds, which are 530mm of pen, pretty decent as well. However, their side armor is actually pretty weak. As you can see here, even with a slight angle, you are now able to go through. And as usual with most MBTs, is that if one of these is coming around the corner, even at this kind of angle, I would recommend not shooting at the lower plate or the side armor. I would actually shoot this front sprocket here, as you are able to perma-track these things. And once you perma-track one of them, well, it's good night sweet prince. Unless you have a repair kit on hand, yeah, it can be a little bit weird sometimes. So if you're in the low tier going up against one of these things, the vehicles are often a little bit too fast and agile for the drivers to handle. I have this problem sometimes, so if you can track them like this, it's basically game mode for the driver. Especially if you're in another fast firing tank such as the Asgard, the Dragon, Striker, Buford. Mortars are pretty good as well. Rankers, Rosamax Bruns, SD1s, Server B3s, Terminators, Type 99s, Vickers, and of course the VT4, which has the highest DPM and the highest rate of fire in Tier 8. The commanders I would recommend using would be Rachel. She gives a reload speed increase for every enemy within 50 meters. If you get her fully unlocked, I believe it will go to somewhere around 10 seconds. Which is pretty nifty. She gives some other help as well. The acceleration off-road terrain is quite useful, and tread hit points as well. I would recommend going for this box here and then branching out to this area here. You could also potentially use Victor as well, who I would actually most recommend using, as he gives a 10% reload speed after you get hit, which will happen or not. He gives you a lot of module damage, crew damage, battle fuse, and a 12% acceleration off-road environments with 50% or less hit points. And then if you wanted to go the full damage and hit for roughly full every time, you could also go for Cortez, who gives you the chance of dealing max damage by 97%. So, yeah. However, he's a pure damage commander and doesn't really give you that many useful buffs. These are the tread hit points are quite nice, but otherwise these are just too minor to think about really. There's not much that you can really do with this guy. Otherwise, they can be quite easy to set on fire. Does it say the fire chance to set them? No. But being a Russian tank, of course, the side armor is pitiful, and well, a warrior is going to enjoy its time with you very much. So, the following will be a selection of live replays I had. As you know, hotfixes in Armoured Warfare tend to screw up the replays in Armoured Warfare, so I didn't really have that much to go with. I hope you enjoy watching them. Please learn from my mistakes and remember how I use the T-72B3, which is fast, agile, and always use that reload time. Like I said, it doesn't have any real weaknesses unlike all the other premium tanks. It's relatively forgiving. The reload time and the agility really helps out. The ERA is quite nice as well, and the turret is pretty well armoured. So overall, I would give it 10 shekels and a thumbs up from Stalin. Thanks for watching the replay, and I hope you will enjoy the following games. Take care for now, guys. Cool. The game is dead. Then why am I getting these kind of games? Half 10 Euro time. Just saying. Okay. Yep, I'm stupid and I'm gonna go down that way again. I mean, I'm hoping that my top speed is good enough to allow me to get down there, because if it's not, I'm gonna die. The difference is that nobody's gonna spot that VBR or the Bradley unless I get down there. So I'm, in honesty, probably just gonna have to. There's a Merc. We shot him. Reload to AP rounds, hope for the best. They didn't spot me. That means he's going to come around the corner.
Tank. Smoke out. Move, move. We're hit. Driver down. Taking over. Identify. Tank. Reloading.
Nope.
Ammo up.
I don't really care about Ninja Driver at this time.
Identify target. Tank.
Now, if you could not shove me into the line of fire, Merc, that'd be great.
Identify target. Tank.
Boop, tracked. Hopefully they can shoot and spot that striker. Good boys. It's all going well. It's going very well. Tracked again. Hi.
How you doing, Sophie?
I'm okay. I'm having fun. I think. I mean,
this is Armored Warfare.
I mean, I just did 5,391 damage in my T-72B3 in the first minutes, and together we killed 3 tier 8s and 1 tier 7 because I pushed up. The problem being is that now I'm going to have to go through scout territory in a fucking MBT, and it's not going to go well, I can tell you that.
Can anybody say missile spam?
Oh, there's a Merc and an M1. It's not that I'm worried about, it's the fact there's a VBR and a Bradley that's going to get me. There's a Bradley.
Anybody say missile spam?
Yeah, he just lit himself up. I'm being passively spotted by something though, and that makes me nervous. Okay, they've got a VBR down there, I think. VBR's dead. Bradley's still down there though. And I think I just make my Merc, and I think I just made my Merc take the hit for it. The problem being is that all of their MBTs have punched through at this point. And we need somebody to kill that Bradley, because if not, he's going to go all the way over and he's going to kill us. The thing is, we need to take out these guys, then we need to take out the 3 Mercs in the north. Those Mercs are going to be difficult to take care of though. Okay, their Abrams is down there. That means it's probably just a Merc.
They nailed us.
Fucking really?
Identify target.
Damn it! Bradley crossfired me. Oh well, I did 7k damage. I'm not.
That's a respectable showing.
Respectable showing. I did twice my hit points in damage. Oh, this is interesting. Spicy game. I think with that map I should never have gone up there, but the thing is that I'd rather take the chance rather than, you know. And I've just realised I've been downloading Steam this entire time. That was and fucking War Thunder and Wargaming as well. No wonder why my Discord connection has been shit. Yep, and my voice connection has ballooned to good levels. So we're going to go there, we're going to hit on the rock, and then we're going to push up. I'm pretty sure we can win this.
There's meant to be, what, 7.5 billion of us sharing this planet?
Could these stupid adverts fuck off, please? Thank you. Anyway, let's go. So we're going to go up this line. There's like a rock over there. We're going to take that rock, and we're going to make that rock a good rock. This music is shit. That challenge is going to come up as well, but the battle will be but this battle here will be decided long before that guy gets here. Okay, they've got a challenger moving up. Doesn't matter. We need to hold. Fucking dude! Are you fucking retarded? People these days, I swear. Guy almost cost us the match. Trust him now. Just wait for it.
Identify target. Hostile. They're mobilized.
Yeah, let's pound the crap out of him. Next shot, take out the and take out the tracks.
They're mobilized.
Module destroyed. Jano, I think you need to teach your clan how to play PvP.
No pen.
Wow, that bounced, really. Where are you going, Challenger?
They're mobilized.
Tracked again.
Took a hit. Also PC marked. Ammo up.
Ugh, that one more. Hello, rock that always gets me. That is unmanned damage, really?
Identify.
Come on, guy. This fucking weasel, really?
Target locked on. Smoke out. Move. Target's gone.
Where is these missiles coming from? I think he's run off.
We're hit.
Got him.
Destroyed.
Load the hate rounds.
Reloading.
Heat.
Identify target. No pen. They hit us
Bounce.
hard.
No, I don't really care at this point.
He could kill me. If he does, I will be very amused. Nope, don't matter. Load AP.
Hostile tank.
Back off. Really?
Track damage.
You're not too smart, are you?
Threat destroyed.
Dunno. I am unsure why he decided to do that, but I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all. 1 million credits! Woo! It's beautiful. Now, if I was taking Victor, this would be a very happy match. However, using Rachel though, this may be slightly awkward. Just a tiny bit awkward. Okay, we're going now. Please go north, don't go south. If you're in like a really fast MBT like the Leopard, then you can go south if you wanted to. He could help versus the Striker and the Centauro and the Dragon, but in this map, majority MBTs, that 2A5 will come in handy because he will be able to literally green everybody on the other side. Like, he will go for their weak spots like a hot knife goes through. I can't believe it's not better. Anyway, regardless of what happens, in order to win the game, we must take the North Center, and if we die, so be it. I'm prepared to accept the consequences that if I die, my team wins. And that may mean doing 0 damage, but it is something we must do. So basically, they're going to see what's going to pop up on there. But if anybody tries to sneak around here, maybe slightly different. Alright, they're advancing all the way around. Surprise! Oh, somebody's going to sneak around here as well. I am very sure of it. Okay, as long as these idiots, you know, prevent people from going over on that side, I'm good with this. It's a fucking evil over there. Okay. Aim. What in the name of dog shit is that? Hello, M1, how are you today? And boop.
Penetrated.
Okay, the thinking for this is that I am significantly more mobile than these two. So I need... God damn it. Okay, basically I can't take on these guys on my own.
Identify target. Hostile tank.
Ooh.
We're hit.
Hello.
Suck.
Ooh. Ah!
Move. Commander down. Taking over. Turret prepared.
Yeah, the whole turret ring vulnerability is definitely a thing. Question is, can we start shooting? Yes! There we go, beautiful. Hey, how's it going?
Enemy destroyed.
Let's get the other two. Where are you going, Leopard? Okay, he's facing us now. Okay, he fired. That means we have a few seconds worth of invincibility. Ooh, okay. Boop. Right in the lower plate. Oh, pain. And now I can reload very fast. Look at this. Let's swipe up again. Ammo rack. Ooh, now we can farm the Challenger. Oop. The problem is that there is a rape train of Merkavas coming in the other direction. So it's highly likely that we're all going to die. Because none of us can really stop them. There's a lot. And it's basically a giant tank rush. And we can't really stop tank rushes. Hey, Mert. Where are you going? Back up, back up, back up, back up, back the fuck up.
Reloading.
Ooh.
Smoke grenade out. They tracked us.
Reload!
Moving out.
He's gonna...
They hit us hard.
Yeah, he is. Okay, so, contemporary wisdom holds is that I will do far more damage if I come over here and I shoot some of those guys. Hello, T80.
No pen.
Why did you bounce? Why did you do me a bounce?
Target locked. We're hit. Hostile
I can
tank.
get maybe one more shot in, maybe. Shoot the strike.
Target locked on.
I did get one more shot in. Have you opened your event crates yet? No, because I didn't do the event. I mean, I kind of have an Armada, and I'm not particularly interested in the VBL anyway, so... besides, I think I was either playing Battletech or Skyrim during that encounter, so... The term attempted carry comes to mind in that one. Killed. Killed. No.